Hello and welcome back to the channel, and this is the last video from our February impromptu bins trip in the inside St. Louis bins. I just showed you they had bikes. I don't know if they have bikes all the time. Again, this is my first time going to this bins. My husband has been there a couple times. This is my first time going. So if you've gone to this bins, you can say in the comments, do they always have bikes? Behind me is furniture. I think I wing around so you can see that. This is like the Bridgeton Goodwill Outlet that I normally go to, where the glass, ceramic, dishware, all of that is separated into separate bins, which is great. The Indianapolis bins, at least when we used to go, did not do this. That led to a lot of broken stuff. However, a lot of people, I guess, go back here and just dump everything. So I was moving clothes and shoes and stuff out of the way to get to things. And of course, there's like garbage in there. Like, it's not garbage. Maybe people would reuse it, but there was an empty apple juice jar. Yeah, sometimes people use empty apple juice jars, but I don't know if I'm going to pay for an empty apple juice jar by weight. There was some picture frames here. Do not sleep on the coffee crafts. Which you can see there, some of the coffee crafts, the replacement crafts, can get money for them. So don't sleep on them. Look them up, but obviously don't buy them per pound if they're not worth at least $10. If it's not worth $10, don't buy it. Same with blender things. I probably should have picked up that blender thing and looked at it. Old blender, like pitchers, I guess that's what we'd call the blender thing. Those can also sell. So look at those. But again, don't pay per weight for them unless they are at least $10. The ceramics here were 20 cents a pound, I do believe. So yes, they are cheaper. Ceramics are cheaper, but they are heavier, of course. And they're heavier to ship. So be aware of that. Is someone going to buy that for your shipping cost? I should have looked at the thing. I should have picked up the red thing that had a bear on it. That was a Scentsy wax warmer. I couldn't find the top that you put the actual wax in there, so I didn't pick it up. But I guess Scentsy might be going out of business. I don't know. Or maybe it's Pink Zebra, one of the like MLM wax companies that people really follow and are very much into. And they have like very loyal followers. One of them is going out of business, but I forget which one. But I always get decent value for Scentsy wax warmers. Again, though, I'm not paying more than $2 for a Scentsy wax warmer. And sometimes I can sell them, depending on what they are, between $20 and $40 if it's like a discontinued, not discontinued. A lot of the Dollar Tree vases there. I think someone like donated all of their wedding table decor because there was a bunch of like glass bowls that were very similar. I also look at coffee cups for my own personal use. My husband likes to take funny ones to work, and so I'll look for them there. I did pick up a coffee cup here. I think I might have picked up two, but I definitely picked up a coffee cup here. And it was Fantasia from 2000. So Disney's Fantasia. I probably should have looked at the Wave one because that is a very famous artwork. I probably should have picked that up and seen what that was. Again, these are 20 cents per pound, so I probably would have paid 20 to 40 cents for that coffee cup. So I should have looked that up. Yes, that is a very famous painting. The I don't know what those are. Oh, votive lights, maybe? I don't know. I really don't like filming this on my phone because I don't know what my right hand is doing while I'm looking at things with my left hand. Oh, I found essential oils there, but not like candle scents, I guess would be my best explanation. One was definitely cinnamon. I don't know what the other one was. I ended up buying both of them. That being said, do not open bottles with liquid and smell them in the bins. I don't recommend it. You probably will find something you don't like, but I did. And they were both candle scents. They were not labeled at all. So again, don't do what I did. That probably wasn't great. I might have also picked up a Starbucks mug here too. Some of them sell, some of them do not sell. Some of them were mass produced so much they don't sell, but some of them do sell. The one I picked up was one of their heavier stoneware ones, and like, it'd be so funny if you guys could see me talking because I'm talking to you and I'm like holding my hand and shaking it like it's heavy and describing this because I talk with my hands, which is kind of funny. And when I talk with my hands at work, sometimes I've accidentally like hit walls or walked into things because I'm constantly moving. So I'm trying to gauge and show you the weight of this mug by using my hands when you cannot see what I'm doing. So, but it was one of their heavier stoneware mugs. And I want to say it was from the early 2000s. There's usually a lot of like old Avon perfume bottles. I'll pick that up. I'll pick up local stuff. Sometimes I'll pick up candles. Depends what they are. And I always like to look here too. Granted, you're getting this because I'm using my other hand to pick things up. But I also like to look here because sometimes people will pick things up and then they'll slid them to the side that maybe they weren't going to get them and they decided to do that. Because again, some people, I'm more hungry than some people. These are glass. The middle one was like the glass tumbler thing. That's what I found a lot of, like the straight cylinder vases. I found a lot of, so it must have been someone's wedding. Some people do sell Pyrex and Fiesta ware and stuff they find here. I tend not to. I don't know if I'm just not hungry enough, if I don't want to mess with it. I have shipped plates and stuff. It's not new to me, but I've shipped them enough that I don't want to ship them. And I'm an adult, so I can decide what I want to do. Gosh darn it. But it's just not my bag. I don't like listing them. I don't get excited when I see them. Probably should have picked the tool up because tools will sell too. They will not sell usually by themselves, tools like that, but a lot of them. My husband actually has an entire tub of vintage tools that he needs to list in our garage that I don't know if he remembers he has, and I just thought about now. But yeah, and I want to say at the end of this video, I also show you the books. But there are 2 rows of dishes. And then after the 2 rows of dishes, there are 2 rows of books back here in this corner. And if I would have spun around and showed you behind me, that's where the furniture was. And then behind that was where the clothing was. Plastic Easter eggs. Again, people aren't going to pay for plastic Easter eggs. So yeah, I'm looking at heavier mugs, picking up. I'm actually looking for a travel coffee cup. I broke my travel coffee cup and I don't want to pay for another travel coffee cup. So one of the things that I was like, if I find it in the bins, I'll pick it up. There's another Scentsy warmer missing the top dish. I don't know if someone picked up the top dish thinking it's something else. But both of the Scentsy warmers that I found in the bins are missing their top dishes. So I found that slightly ironic or, weird coincidence. Maybe people just pick up the top dishes and resell the top dishes because they're small and someone may break theirs or don't want to clean it up. Okay, so here's the books. There's really no rhyme nor reason to the books. They all seem to be, scattered together, not like this is a bin of children's books. This is a bin of not children's books. There was a lot of like early readers. And so you can see the rows behind there that go all the way to the wall. That is books. And what's mixed within the books are games and DVDs. The back row specifically was supposed to be games and DVDs. But I did see a lot mixed in here. My husband's usually way more into books than I am. I don't usually spend that much time looking at the books. But I did. At least I got to show you part of the books there. And I wish I would have turned around and showed you where the furniture was. Because there was furniture and it was individually priced. It wasn't priced per pound. What are my final thoughts on this bins? It was really busy. I didn't like the area it was in. Parking was really bad, and I was worried about my van getting damaged in the parking lot. The people there were slightly more aggressive than the other bins. It had more items in it, though. I did not look at the clothes, so I cannot speak to the clothes. It rubber banded its shoes together, so that is always a plus for bins if they rubber band their shoes together. The checkout process was nicer. The staff did pull out things that were particularly heavy for us. It was the 2 children's play snowboards and price those individually, which is a big bonus to me because the Bridgeton bins does not do that. The cleanliness, it's neither here nor there. It wasn't dirty. I do like the space. There was a lot of space between the aisles. We weren't constantly running into each other, which was really nice. They did run out of carts very early. They do not have bags there, but neither does the Bridgeton bins. There was not enough carts for my husband and I to have our own carts, so one of us was staying with the cart while the other one would like wander and then bring back. I had no plans to this bins. I did not pre-plan to go into it. I did not have proper recording equipment. None of that happened. So I don't know if I can give it a truly honest review. Would I go to this bins by myself as a female that is not intimidating looking? No, I would not. Would I go to this bins with my husband? Yes. Would I take my children to this bins? No. That being said, I will not take my younger 2 children to the Bridgeton bins either, but I would take my 15-year-old because he is over 6 feet tall and more intimidating than I am at this point. Do I think this is a fun bins and shouldn't be passed up if you're inside St. Louis? Sure. If you want to go to the IKEA, which is next door, that's also a bonus there. So thank you for watching and listening. Please like and subscribe and have a productive day.